Hello and welcome to the land of grey and pink with me, David, and
Fiona from Sunshine Crazy Diamond.
and today we are going to be talking about Pink Floyd, a band that we both love and
You're awesome.
are awesome. A classic band, started in the 60s and ended in the early 80s. Well, not officially, but you know, the other albums, debatable whether they really count.
Yeah.
So, shall we start off then by talking about sort of Piper and the sort of earlier singles?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Syd Barrett, so I'm really into that stuff.
Yeah, Syd Barrett is, was very talented, very much so.
Yeah, it was, and his music was really good. It had this kind of like childish kind of quality to it that was really fun.
Very much so. I really enjoy like the singles like Apples and Oranges and Arnold Lane, especially. I think that.
Yeah, and See Emily Play, that was an awesome one.
Oh yeah, that is. I think some of those they get overlooked quite a lot in Pink Floyd's catalogue when they really shouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, they sound like nothing else they've ever done, really, so they're really unique. But
yeah, certainly very different with their style, but very good.
yeah, so then their first album was it 1968? Piper at the Gates of Dawn?
I think it was 68, yeah. I would say it was. Certainly.
Yeah, that was a great album. I really enjoyed that one.
Oh, it really was, yeah, definitely a very good album.
Yeah, except for the song Bicycle, that always wound me up. And
really?
Me, but apart from that, yeah, it just pisses me off.
Why?
I don't know, probably because I can't ride a bicycle and I wish I could.
Well, I suppose neither can I, but I have to say I never really had particular problems with that song, but
fair enough.
Okay, so what about the second album? God, which one was that? I can't remember off the top of my head now. Or was that Saucer Full of Secrets? Yeah, that was the
Secrets. Yeah.
Yeah, was that the movie soundtrack thing?
I think so. Wasn't that More? Or was this another one?
That was. It was More that was. Yeah, yes. Saucerful. Yeah. I can't say I was a big fan of Saucerful. It's, I don't know, just something about it that's a bit fairly dull, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like a bad version of the first album.
It is, yeah. And there's just nothing that grabs me about it at all.
I know, I like the title track, but that's about it, really.
Yeah.
That one.
The title track's good, definitely.
Yeah. I call Clegg because I love the kazoo solo.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, which is that on?
That's on Source for the Secret.
The song is that, or?
Yeah, Corporal Clegg.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was on that one.
I think it was, to be honest. Yeah, I can't say it's one of their albums I listen to that much, to be honest.
No, I'm much more into like the middle stuff.
Yeah, I'd say middle to like end of Waters era definitely is usually type of stuff I listen to. Okay, what about then? It was More after this, or was it Ummagumma?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of either of them, really. So.
Well, yeah, it seems many Pink Floyd fans don't like them that much. They're fairly dull albums. There's just nothing that good on them. I mean, I would say Ummagumma's the better one. There are some things.
Yeah, there was some good stuff on that. Except on More, there was a song called Nile Song, which was like really heavy metal stuff, which I thought was really unique and kind of like one of the first in metal, really.
Yeah. I'd say on Ummagumma, I definitely prefer the live aspect of it to the studio.
Yeah, the version of Kev with the Axe Eugene is pretty amazing with the scream.
Yeah, that is. And I love the version of Astronomy Domain, definitely one of my favourite early Floyd songs.
So that was from Source for the Secrets, wasn't it, originally?
I think that was, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then...
So what was after that?
It's Atom Heart Mother, I think.
Again, I'm not a massive fan of that one.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. I'm quite ambivalent towards... I like the first side of it, the title track. I think that is quite good.
Yeah, it's definitely unique. So long.
Oh yeah, very unique, very. But I don't know the other stuff. Like I remember, I definitely didn't like stuff like If and Fat Old Son. That just.
No, I wasn't a fan of that stuff really. But
Yeah.
I think the first track, the extra long one, was really a good preview of things to come with
Oh,
all their really
definitely.
long progressive songs.
Very much a start of the prog side, certainly.
Mm.
But then, of course, it's Metal, which has the song that really started to capture their sound of Echoes, one of my
definitely.
absolute favourites of theirs.
Yeah, same. I love the beginning and the end especially. I'm not so sure about the whale song, but the rest of it is pretty epic.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely, I think like Echoes, such a like Rick Wright. He just sounds so good. His keyboards on that, and
Yeah. Although I found some of the other tracks from that album weren't so good.
yeah, I'd agree.
Sort of like Sad Tropez and what was it? What was the one with the dog?
Oh, the one. Yeah, I do remember that one. Oh, I cannot.
Seamus, that's it.
Oh,
Seamus.
Yeah, Seamus. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just bizarre.
That was weird. It was quite a short song, and
I know.
very
Fortunately.
weird.
Although there was, of course, One of Those Days, which was a really great instrumental.
That is, yeah, definitely.
And that had Nick Mason doing the vocals, which was the first time he'd ever done it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like I came across some weird Christmas song that they'd done the other day with Nick Mason on vocals.
Wow. Is he any good?
It's actually okay. It's surprisingly alright, but it's, very different.
Yeah, I should listen to that.
Okay, so Obscured by Clouds, probably
That was,
my least favourite, to be honest.
Yeah, that's just dull, isn't it?
I just don't get the album. Quite a few instrumentals, and they're not good instrumentals at all. They're really dull.
I know. It was it was the one just before Dark Side of the Moon,
Yes,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was sort of a bit of a dip after Echoes, I found.
Yeah, I'd definitely say it was a sort of a transition album. I don't even know why they felt they needed to do something like that instead of just carrying on with the sound they'd clearly established with Echoes. It seemed very weird.
I know. I think I have that album on vinyl, and I can say it sounds a lot better on that than it does on CD, but it's still pretty dull.
Yeah. So, should we move on to Dark Side of the Moon then?
Yeah, I mean, what to say?
I mean, such a classic, phenomenal album from start to finish.
I know. I think one of my favourite tracks off the album is probably Money, just because it's in that great time signature and it's so unique. But to be honest, all the songs on it I'm a big fan of. So.
Oh yeah, I especially like if you had the live version of it.
Yeah, I have. There's quite a few different ones, but it's on their CD when they re-release them all. Was it last year?
Yeah, it was the Experience edition.
Yeah, that's right. It's on that, isn't it? Yeah, that's amazing.
I would say that's possibly better than the studio one. And The Great Gig in the Sky as well. God, that's a good song. That
I know.
Who was the person who did the singing for that? Claire Torrey, I think it was.
I think that's the name, yeah.
I think that's it, yeah.
But yeah, it's just that album, you can listen to it like straight through, no gaps.
Oh yeah, it just flows so wonderfully.
And I like the whole kind of, it's like a concept.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Album, really, the theme with like all the Syd Barrett and the mental illness and all that, it's just so interesting.
Oh, it is, yeah, very much the beginning of sort of Waters' concept.
So should we move on to my favourite, or have we got anything else?
No, yeah, I haven't. Move on to Wish You Were Here then.
Okay, that's actually my personal favourite. I just think like Dark Side of the Moon, it flows so well with, of course, my favourite song, Shine On You Crazy Diamond.
Well, yeah, I mean, what an epic song that is. Just not much to say. It's just so breathtaking from the beginnings at the beginning of the album, then finishing at the end. Just.
I know. I think the BBC recently did a documentary on the making of it. I don't know if you saw it, but that was really interesting.
I've seen the one on Dark Side of the Moon, but I didn't know they'd done one on this.
No, they have, but that's definitely worth a watch. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
But what other tracks are on there? I'm just trying to remember.
Welcome to the Machine, Have a Cigar.
A Cigar. Oh, of course, Wish You Were Here.
And of course, the title track, yeah.
No, that's probably one of their most popular songs that most people know, Wish You Were Here, but I think it deserves it.
Oh, I'd say so, yeah. I mean, it really does. Phenomenal acoustic song.
Mm. And of course, from that, that was a concept album, really, again, about Syd Barrett.
Yes, very much
that led
so.
on to Animals. So Animals is another favourite of mine. I love the cover of Animals, that kind of industrial feel. I think it's really clever. But Battersea Power Station, is it?
I think it is Battersea Power Station, yeah. I went there not too long ago, actually.
Is it as wonderful as it looks on the cover?
Not quite. They captured it in a particular way, but,
Sure.
It's still pretty cool.
Yeah. What were you doing in Battersea Power Station?
I don't know. It just happened to be near, so it's like, may as well go there.
Fair enough. Go get your Pink Floyd sights in.
Exactly.
You need to go to the Dark Side of the Moon next.
Yeah.
So what have you got to say about that album?
Well, I'd have to say I think Dogs is the standout track for me.
Amazing guitar, Dogs.
And I just love the whole concept of it, based, of course, on Animal Farm, which is also one of my favourite books.
George Orwell. Great, political music. Really.
Very, very much so. And I think the way that Waters captures it in music, it fits so perfectly, to be honest.
No, I'm a massive fan of Roger Waters myself. Got the same surname and the same birthday, so I think we're meant for each other.
Very much so. I think Animals is probably one of the most overlooked albums, though. It just doesn't seem to get as much credit as stuff like Dark Side, Wish You Were Here, and The Wall, but it really deserves to be honest.
Yeah, like when they released the Experience editions last year, they didn't do one for Animals, so I thought it was a shame because I would have bought it.
Yeah, I thought that was criminal. I definitely would have bought that one as well.
I know, they just skip it, and it's amazing.
It really is.
Yeah, I would say it's not very accessible, though.
Yeah, I suppose it's not as accessible as some of the other stuff, but
then I guess Shine On You Crazy Diamond isn't very accessible, so...
Yeah, an epic song like that, so... Okay, so should we move on to, then, my personal favourite Pink Floyd album, which is The Almighty Wall.
Yeah.
The epic double album, and this is my joint favourite album of all time. I just think it's flawless as long as it is. It's just phenomenal. I saw Roger Waters perform it last year, and that was just...
I'm jealous.
Epic as hell. Best concert I've ever seen. Oh my god. He certainly knew how to do it.
There's a live CD version of it, which is probably, again, like the Dark Side of the Moon, probably even better.
Oh, I'd say definitely better. No doubt about that.
With the extended solos on Comfortably Numb and all that.
Oh yeah, just so wonderful. Comfortably Numb, my favourite Pink Floyd song, actually.
Oh, yeah, it's probably my second favourite.
I just think the guitar solo alone would make it epic, but the rest of it's just so awesome as well.
I know. I love the more acoustic songs on it as well, like Mother.
Oh, that's so good. And of course, just the concept for this album is just so wonderful.
I know. And the film is really interesting as well.
The film is, yeah. And it I like the fact on the film it has some of the tracks that only got onto the final cut as well, because there's some others that could easily have made it on here, but it's so long.
I know. It's not too long, though. That's the best thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I guess that was kind of Pink Floyd's heyday, really, and then they kind of dropped a little.
That was, yeah. The last proper album, I mean, I suppose you can sort of count the final cut as one, but it really is just odds and ends.
Yeah, the final cut, I think, was personally a bit Obscured by Clouds, just a bit boring.
Yeah, I think it does have its highlights, but in general, it's nothing that special.
I think we've had a bit of enough of Waters and his singing about the war. I think he's done all that in The Wall. So
yeah, I can't say I'm a big fan of Waters' solo stuff that much. I just can't quite get into it.
Yeah, it's nothing like Pink Floyd, definitely.
No, I'm looking forward to he's going to be doing a new solo album slated for next year, which I'm interested in, but don't know how that will turn out. Okay, so should we move on to...
But you're lucky you've seen The Wall live, though.
Well, yeah. So a momentary lapse of reason then, which I don't even really count as a Pink Floyd album.
No, I think it's more a momentary lapse of talent, if I'm...
I think that's the best way to sum it up. I mean, as much as I do like Gilmour's solo stuff, I just don't think it works in this concert. I mean, I think Learning to Fly is a decent song.
Yeah, but that was almost quite commercial, that song, really.
It was, yeah. It was, but I think the rest of it, I don't know, I have heard people do quite like this album, but I just cannot see it, to be honest. I think it's pretty bad, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was definitely kind of filler, really.
Oh yeah, very much so. It's just like they just wanted to use the Pink Floyd name, so just released anything on it.
Yeah, and of course Waters is gone then, so it's never quite the same.
But yeah, it's just the Gilmour band with, you know, Mason. And yeah, it was just not good. But I think the better one of the after has to be the next one of the Division Bell.
Yeah, I quite enjoy the Division Bell, actually.
It was actually the first Pink Floyd album I ever heard, weirdly.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
And I've always sort of, I don't know, had a soft spot for it because of that, but listening to it since hearing stuff like The Wall and Dark Side, it just doesn't hold up at all. It does have the odd decent thing. I quite like the Cluster One, that instrumental. That's good, and A Great Day for Freedom's good as well. But
yeah, but then even though compared to other bands, the instrumentals are pretty good. They're nothing like the instrumentals off, Wish You Were Here and Echoes and other things like that.
Oh yeah, nothing like that. I'd say probably the best song on it, High Hopes, I think, the last one.
Yeah, and also I quite like Lost for Words. I just love the ending of that song. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, that is a good song.
So that's it.
That pretty much
Is that
covers Pink Floyd's discography, unless they decide to release something else, but I honestly doubt that will ever happen.
No, unfortunately, although it probably would be really bad.
It would. It depended. If it had Waters on board, then I don't know. It could be alright, but it just had to be disappointing. They just could never live up to the stuff they did in the 70s, so
no.
What's the point in trying?
Yeah, I think they should have kind of quit while they were ahead and stopped after maybe The Wall. But
yeah, Gilmour should have just left the name as it was, but he's making good money from it, certainly making a lot more money on his tours with Floyd than Waters was on his solo stuff. So
because he only had the rights to one or two of the albums. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but their reunion in Live 8 was pretty amazing, though. So
that is a pretty good reunion, and
I think a live tour together would be pretty great.
That would. I mean, they did that thing. Gilmour appeared atop the wall last year at one of Waters' tours, playing Comfortably Numb, and that's pretty epic. Even if Gilmour did actually slip up playing the solo, but
I know I've seen that on YouTube, and it is a bit of a fail. But
it is a bit.
He tried. He's getting old now.
Yeah, he is. But when he seems to be touring by himself, he doesn't seem to have a problem with it. But I don't know.
Stage fright, maybe.
Could well be. So I'd say that pretty much wraps up the Pink Floyd related stuff then, I'd say.
Yeah, so even though they're an awesome band, they've had their down moments, but I think that's kind of outweighed by how awesome they are for the rest of it.
Yeah, they definitely make up for it. No doubt about that.
Yeah, so I give them a 9.9 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd give them out of 10, but certainly very high. One of my favourite bands, no doubt about that. Even if some of their stuff, as you said, can be a bit dull.
At least they don't start rapping or anything.
Yeah, at least they stuck to their guns of sound pretty much. Just tweaking it a bit instead of going dubstep like Muse or something.
See, I actually quite like Muse's dubstep. I'm ashamed to admit it.
Really? Oh.
But that's a whole other video.
That is, yes. Okay, so I'd say we can pretty much conclude it now. So this has been the Land of Grey and Pink, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.
Bye.